Okay, so a very good afternoon to all the viewers present and also very warm welcome to our today's speaker, CA Premlata Daga ma'am. As all of you might know that our today's topic is Tally for auditing, how to use Tally for auditing tips and tricks. We all know the importance of Tally. Most of the mid-size, small size, a lot of firms use Tally as their bookkeeping method and for financials bookkeeping. So it is a very important topic in all the CA firms, especially if you are doing an articleship, you must be knowing that how important this topic is. So for this, to emphasize more on this topic, today with us we have CA Premlata Daga ma'am. She is a chartered accountant and a licensed company secretary and holds a diploma in information system of audit, diploma in information systems of audit. She is a business consultant for effective business management. She started her career at a very young age of 23 as an educator with National Academy of Direct Taxes. She has conducted more than 500 sessions on financial investigation for NADT. Some of her bright achievements are she was the youngest nominated member for Direct Tax Committee of WRC in 2018-19, awarded with Woman of Substance Award in 2018-19 by She Fest, an event which is conducted by Times of India. So she was also the youngest contributor of the book Investigation Techniques for IT Officers by CBDT. So yeah, yes. So without taking any further more time, I would like to request ma'am to start this session. And also, guys, one more thing, we'll be taking all the questions at the end of this session. So means write down your questions. We'll be addressing them in the end. All right, ma'am. Now over to you. Let's begin.
All right. Thank you so much, Purvesh. And very good afternoon to all the participants who have joined us today afternoon. We have two questions on the polls. Purvesh, are they live?
No, ma'am. I don't think the poll is live.
I
I
guess
don't. The polls are disabled, I guess. Ma'am,
okay.
you
So they
could just
won't be.
ask the questions. Student will answer them by typing.
All right. And where can we see those answers?
You could see those on the right side, ma'am. See there's a question panel. You
All
could
right.
see
All right.
them
So
there.
they will be answering there. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. So first thing I would just like to ask, because this is the third session that I'm taking for WIRC Vikasa students. So how many of you have attended my earlier session on the same topic? You can just type your answer on the panel that you are having for questions, so that we have a good understanding from where to start. Okay. Okay. Right. So all those who are here, are you familiar with the Tally? Are you aware about the basic functions of Tally? Have you used Tally? Okay. All right. So considering the answers that we are getting, I guess most of you might be probably new for the session, and you are somewhat familiar with Tally because you come from some articleship experience. So I guess this is correct. Okay. So now what we will do is we will just go through the basics first. Basics in the sense the basic functions that we generally take care and during our normal audit procedures, and then we will move on to the advanced part, and advance in the sense something that relates to the basic structure of Tally. So a brief background ki why Tally is so important and why Tally is being used so widely when it comes to small and medium sized organization. So what is the basic reason for this? The basic reason for this is that um, Tally is a software basically which has been developed by a businessman, and that too a Marwari businessman. So there are many softwares presently which are available in the market, but the adjustments, the flexibility what Tally company is giving is basically not provided by any other person. तो Tally के अंदर customization का बहुत ज्यादा scope है, और कुछ कुछ चीजें Tally के अंदर ऐसी है जो बाकी सॉफ्टवेयर में होती भी नहीं है और बेसिकली ऐसा नॉर्मली कोई आईटी वाला पर्सन सोचता भी नहीं है। तो टैली के बेसिक structure में alteration you can make approximately 90% of the software can be changed with customization. There are so many customized softwares which are available which are industry specific. तो hotel industry के लिए अलग software customization बना है, and there are many companies which are having the only business of doing customization in Tally. तो कितने भी softwares आ जाए, but Tally is never going to go out of the market and it's never going to be out of fashion, because Tally people are also constantly developing their tool. So if Tally is going to be used by the small or medium sized companies in the near future, then certainly it becomes one of the important topic for all the upcoming chartered accountants to understand the functionalities. आपका रोल चेंज हो जाएगा, आप ऑडिट अभी जो वाउचिंग का काम करते हैं मोस्टली बिकॉज यू आर आर्टिकल, later it will go and change into customization. It may go into different type of services that you may end up offering your clients if you get into practice, etc etc. तो अब हम क्या करते हैं, हमारे पास एक कंपनी डेटा है, उस कंपनी डेटा पे हम पहले अलग अलग चीजें एनालिसिस करके देखेंगे, which will include our cash analysis, which will include debtor, creditor, sale, purchase, unsecured loans, etc. And then we will move on to the very important part, and that is inventory analysis, that we will take at the end. Inventory analysis is something extremely important. The reason being, आप लोग आर्टिकलशिप कर चुके हैं, आपको मालूम है कि कभी भी जब प्रॉफिट मैनेज करना रहता है तो ऑलरेडी सारी चीजें करने के बाद जो लास्ट स्कोप बचता है वो होता है आपका इन्वेंट्री। अब इन्वेंट्री को एक्सेल के में आप कोई भी फिगर डाल दो, बट उस चीज को आप टैली में कैसे इनकॉर्पोरेट करेंगे और वो टेक्निकली भी सही दिखना चाहिए, सो दैट यू डोंट एंड अप getting caught by any income tax person, is extremely important in today's time. So let's start. कुछ बेसिक चीजें आई विल टेल यू, आपने बहुत सारी चीजें करी होगी, तो हो सकता है कुछ चीजें जो हम डिस्कस करेंगे वो आपको ऑलरेडी पता होगा, लेकिन क्योंकि हमारे साथ काफी सारे लोग जुड़े हैं, आई विल जस्ट हैव अ क्विक ब्रश अप ऑन द बेसिक पार्ट ऑल्सो, सो एवरीबडी इज ऑन द सेम स्टेज देयर आफ्टर। सबसे पहली चीज, टैली के बहुत सारे वर्जन आ चुके थे, आपने अभी तक जो देखा था वो है टैली ERP 9, क्योंकि ये लेटेस्ट वर्जन है और आपके आर्टिकलशिप टाइम से यही चल रहा होगा, लेकिन दिस इज नॉट द ओनली वर्जन। टैली का जो वर्जन है वो स्टार्ट हुए थे 4.5 से, देन 5.4, 6.3, 7.2. Tally company is having the lucky number as 9. So all the versions of Tally adds up to 9. Presently आप जो देख रहे हैं वो है Tally ERP 9, लेकिन दो वर्जन सबसे ज्यादा यूज हुए थे, जिसमें से एक था 7.2 एंड दूसरा है Tally ERP 9. 7.2 अभी भी काफी लोग यूज करते हैं छोटी जगह पे, क्योंकि वो फ्रीली अवेलेबल है। अगर कभी ऐसा हुआ कि आप किसी कंपनी का ऑडिट कर रहे हैं एंड द कंपनी हैज मेंटेन देयर डेटा इन 7.2 वर्जन, तो गलती से भी 7.2 में काम करना मत शुरू कर देना, क्योंकि 7.2 वर्जन में एनालिटिकल टूल्स काफी कम है, उसमें एक्सपोर्ट करने के बाद में बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ती है। सो यू मस्ट नो कि 7.2 का डेटा नेविगेट होके आप उसको माइग्रेट कर सकते हैं, माइग्रेटिंग टूल्स अवेलेबल रहते हैं, गूगल में आप फ्रीली देख सकते हैं, उसे आप डेटा को माइग्रेट करिए टैली ERP 9 में और उसके बाद ही अपना ऑडिट करें। सो फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू शुड नोटिस कि इफ in case your client is having data in Tally 7.2 version, तो आप गलती से भी उसका ऑडिट 7.2 में नहीं करेंगे, आप उसको पहले माइग्रेट करेंगे माइग्रेटिंग टूल्स की हेल्प से, एंड फिर उसका डेटा एनालिसिस करेंगे टैली ERP 9 पे। आप जब भी कोई डेटा माइग्रेट करते हैं तो आपको एक एश्योरेंस चाहिए है कि जो डेटा था वो पूरा का पूरा सेफली माइग्रेट हो गया। तो डेटा इंटीग्रिटी इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट। डेटा इंटीग्रिटी मेंटेन्ड है ये जानने के लिए आप एक काम कर सकते हैं, आप 7.2 का वर्जन का ट्रायल बैलेंस को माइग्रेट करने के बाद जो टैली ERP 9 का डेटा होगा उसके ट्रायल बैलेंस से कंपेयर करेंगे, उसके बाद ही अपना एनालिसिस स्टार्ट करेंगे, क्योंकि अगर डेटा गलत रहा तो बाय डिफॉल्ट रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स विल बी इनकरेक्ट। सो फर्स्ट थिंग इज क्लियर। सेकेंड थिंग, आपको पता कैसे चलेगा कि आपका डेटा कौन से वर्जन पे है? किसी को पता है ये बात कि हम टैली डेटा देखने से ही कैसे पता कर सकते हैं कि कौन से वर्जन से आ रहा है? टैली का जो डेटा फोल्डर रहता है उसका जो नाम रहता है दैट इज वेरी यूनिक. इट इज कंपल्सरली अ न्यूमेरिक नंबर. अगर टैली डेटा का कोई फोल्डर आपको देखते हैं और उसका नाम एक 5 डिजिट नंबर है, इसका मतलब इट इज कमिंग फॉर ERP9. And if it's a 4-digit number, then it is coming from 7.2. So looking at the number, I mean to say the name of that tally data file, you can make it out whether it is coming from tally ERP9 or it is coming from 7.2. I hope this part is also clear. All right. Now, how to open a tally data? There are various ways. One common way is you can certainly go and paste it into the tally data folder. And एक और जो आसान तरीका है, I hope the screen is visible. We are having all right, I'll just here we are having 2 data folders, and these 2 data folders we want to open. So what you need to do is you can just go to that folder, copy the path with Control-C, then go to tally, and in that press F1. You get the option for select company. You have to go to the path section. You have to remove the existing path and paste it here. I repeat again, in order to paste in tally, Control-V and the right click will not work. The only option available with you for pasting anything in tally is Alt, Control and V. I repeat, it's Alt, Control, V. So once you get into this, you can see. All right, I'll repeat this. There's a request for repeating the copy paste path. This is the folder that I'm having on my desktop. In this folder, we are having 2 tally data. I want to open this tally data. So one of the way is you can go and paste it into the by default path. But every time you need not do so. You can even open the tally data from this folder. What you have to do is just go to the address bar. This is the address bar, and click here. Once you click, the entire path will get selected and will be highlighted in blue. You can press Control-C or you can use the right hand key. Then go to your tally, press F1. F1 is to select company. There is absolutely no need to memorize the shortcuts. You can see all the relevant shortcuts on the right hand side of the tally screen. Once you are into this F1, press backspace to go to the path section, escape button to remove the existing path, and Alt Control V to paste the new path. Once you do so, whatever data is available on that particular path will be available on this list of company section, and you can select the companies in which you want to, for which you want to do the audit part. I hope this is clear. We will be first going through India Green Marks, and then we'll talk about SRP later on. So this is how you enter into the tally data. It is extremely important to understand how it will open. This is the way to open a tally data, but in case it's a backup, there are 2 ways how you may get the data from your assessee, I mean client. If it is in the form of a tally data, that means a proper folder, then it will open in this manner. But if it is a backup file, then the backup file needs to be restored. We will see it at the end of the session, like how to restore a backup. Many times I've seen many articles don't know how to restore a backup file. If you don't know how to open a tally data or restore a backup file, then in that case, your rest of the audit will never start. So I hope this part is clear now. We are into the screen. First and the foremost important thing, whenever you are doing any audit, see that you check the period of your company. Company for which you are doing the audit, the period need to be set at the gateway of the tally. We are doing for 2013-14 for this particular tally data. You can change the period with Alt F2. You can check it. I'll just share one quick shortcut, an intelligent one. If, for example, this would not have been 13-14, then there is a shortcut. You can just write A13 and M14. Every minute is important. Every minute of your productive time is important, and you need to know all the possible shortcuts to avoid any waste of time during your audit process. So this is also one of the way how you can enter into the correct period. So now we are finally set to start. This is the gateway of Tally screen. We are into the financial year 13-14 and we are for the audit for the company Indian Grain Mart Private Limited. Okay. Now first thing, you already know the structure of Tally. From here the masters are created, here the transactions are entered, here the utilities are available, and the report section. When we are doing audit, certainly the report section becomes the most important section. So here we have balance sheet, P&L, stock ratio analysis, and the rest of the reports get into the display menu. So we'll go, instead of going report wise, what we will do is, we will do topic wise. Like first we will talk about cash analysis. Cash analysis is something which is extremely important, and it's very sensitive because there are a lot of income tax sections which revolve around your cash transaction. So cash transaction may, what all things you need to see. It's very important that you need to know what all things you need to see, because software will never tell you that what you're supposed to see. It will only show you the reports that it can create, but what you want to see and which report will give you the desired result, it is purely dependent upon your experience. Since you all come from the basic articleship you have already done, what all things would you like to check in the cash analysis? Cash analysis may, what is the first thing that you need to see? You can just type your answers here. Yeah, there's a question, can the client's data can be copied? Yes, and in fact you should copy the client data and then only work. Never work on the live data. If you're doing audit from your client location, just don't get into there and start doing the audit, because they are also continuously working in that particular Tally data and they may end up doing backdated changes also. So what you should do is, you should always take a backup, write the date when you took that particular backup, and then only start it. And always take the data on mail, so that in case accidentally you end up making any changes, or your clients say that this is not the data that he has provided, you must always and always have a backup file available with you, so that you can anytime make a comparison. All right, here we are getting something regarding cash. Or you want to see cash payment exceeding 10,000, you want to see negative cash. All right, so let's check it. And you might have done all these things before also, but I'll show you the smartest way to do this. Firstly, we'll get into the cash. Cash ledger account can be accessed through balance sheet, or you can get into through display. I don't know whether you there are people who have never used Tally, but just for your information, Tally should not be used through mouse. If you are using Tally through mouse, you will be end up wasting a lot of your productive time. You need to know the Tally shortcuts. Tally shortcuts are very easy. They are based on some basic principle. You can see that they are using always the function keys. On the right hand side, you have all the shortcuts for the Tally, which is mostly applicable for that particular screen. You might be able to see some function keys with a single line, and sometimes you will see function keys with double line. So there's a relevance for this. If it's a function key with a single line, you need to press Alt and the function key. And if it's a function key with double underlines, then in that case you have to use Control and function key. I hope this part is clear. I will quickly repeat. You need to know the shortcut logic. They are based on function keys which are there on the top of your keyboard. If it's a function key with a single line, use Alt and function key. If it's a function key with a double line, then use Control and function key. And if there is no line, then simply use that function key. One more shortcut that you need to know is, every word on the gateway of Tally is having one alphabet, which is dark, bold, and capital. This particular alphabet acts as an easy access to that particular menu. So for example, if my cursor is presently on accounts info and I want to get into the display menu, then what I need to do is simply press D. Then I want to get into account books, then it is A, and then I want to get into cash book, which is C. So this is the first time that we are doing it together, hence it took time. Otherwise, you will never understand how quickly you can just get into the cash book. Simply press DAC, display account books cash, and you are into cash book. So presently we are into this cash book part. If you can see, this company is maintaining 2 cash ledger accounts. So there can be multiple cash ledger accounts depending upon the operations of the company. If they are having multiple offices, then they may maintain a petty cash balance across the different offices. You have to check the negative cash, and you have to check cash payments exceeding the given limit. Now you have to even know the limits for that particular year. Presently the limit is 10,000, but we are into the financial year 13-14. At that time the limit was 20,000. So how to check this and how to get this report? You have to just get into one cash ledger account. What you can see is the monthly screen. Now in order to get the transaction view, you have to enter into one particular month. Once you are into that particular month, you need to change the period. So by default, you will never get the complete year at a go. Many times it happens that you end up doing everything and at the end you realize that it was only the month of March. So whenever you're using Tally, have a habit of checking the period every time regularly. Otherwise, it will take double of your time. So we are into the month of March. We need to change the period. We can press F2. Now again, one thing you need to know, if you have set the correct period at the gateway of Tally, then there is absolutely no need to type the period again and again. You can simply press escape, escape and enter. By leaving the fields blank, Tally will by default take the period that you have given on the gateway of Tally. So on the right hand side, again, now you can see that it is 13-14. So what we are having is the transactions for the complete year. Now, out of these transactions, we are interested in knowing the cash payments made by the company, which are exceeding 20,000 rupees, because in the financial year 13-14, the limit was 20,000. What is the function that we need to use here? Anybody who knows which function do we need to use here to filter the data? You can export this and you can do it in Excel also. But if there is an inbuilt tool available in the software, then see that you do that thing in the Tally itself. So the requirement is we need to filter the data. And the filter tool is available in the Tally. The name is range. The range function that you can see on the bottom of the screen is technically the filter option in Tally. In front of range, what you can see is F12 with a single line. That means you need to press Alt F12. So the moment you press Alt F12, what you can get is a filter dialog box. Here you need to give the conditions. Now it is very important that you should understand how the conditions are to be designed. Our requirement is, I'll just take you back to the screen. Our requirement is we need the cash payments exceeding 10,000. Now you can see there are different voucher types. Here we want firstly the detail to be filtered based on the voucher type, and secondly on the amount type. That means we want two conditions to be satisfied simultaneously. How to have these two conditions to be satisfied simultaneously? Voucher having ledger amount greater than. You can just see there are so many ways how you can filter the data in Tally. Presently, we want the ledger amount wise, hence we are taking it as ledger amount greater than 20,000. Now, in Tally, there is a technical problem. Technically, greater than 20,000 should exclude exactly 20,000, but it is read as greater than and equal to. So if you want an exact answer, see that you put it as 20,001. Now we are going to put the second condition. For second condition, we are taking it as and voucher having voucher type name containing, starting with, you can select anything. I'm just taking containing payment. Now you have to make you have to be very particular that your spelling is correct. If you use the word payments instead of payment, then the Tally will not give you any answer because the voucher type name is incorrect. So whenever you're writing it here, see that your spelling is correct. We are done. Within few seconds, you will get the list of all the payments which are exceeding 20,000. You can export this to Excel and you can just mail it to your client so that they can provide the necessary clarification. Now, as we saw that there are two ledger accounts, whatever we did right now, I guess at least half of you might have already did this. Now comes the important part. If there are multiple ledger accounts, then in that case, you don't need to repeat the same thing again and again. If you see on the right hand side of the screen, you can see F4. When you press F4, it will allow you to navigate between the different ledger accounts by keeping the conditions of this screen intact. So what I'm doing is, I am on the same screen with the same set of conditions, and I want to apply the same condition on a different cash ledger account. So I will go through this list of ledger accounts and I will select my petty cash. And we are into now petty cash. And the list of all the payments meeting the same criteria is available within few seconds. I hope this part was also clear. So whenever you have to apply the conditions on multiple ledger accounts, in that case, apply that condition, and that instead of going back to the different and repeating the same stuff again, you can navigate between the ledger accounts through F4. Keep your eye on the right hand side of the screen. Every time you will end up getting an answer for many of your unanswered questions. I hope this part was clear. Now, if you do this, you will get the list of the cash payments, but you have to export it twice. Now, if you have to export it twice, it is taking up your time. If any company is having 10 cash ledger account, then you have to repeat the same things 10 times. And then it is coming from 10 accounts, you have to copy paste in Excel, and then you have to prepare a consolidated list. It will take nothing less than an hour. What is the smartest way of finding this thing when there are multiple cash ledger accounts? There is a report. The only problem that I have seen with people who are using Tally is, once they've started using a particular method of doing data analysis, they are not ready to explore other better ways of doing it. You're already happy with whatever you know, and hence you don't explore what best it can give. There is already one more report in Tally which is called as group vouchers. Group voucher is the best place from where you can find all the payments meeting your criteria at one place, even if it is coming from 100 different ledger accounts. Where do you find the group vouchers? I'll just take you from the home screen. You can go through display, account books, and group vouchers. So all those who are using Tally and they might be thinking that they already know a lot of Tally, probably more you read about Tally, the more you understand there's a lot to know about it. So we are into this particular group voucher screen. Here I am typing cash in hand. Once you get into cash in hand, what you will see, first I'll give you a background what this report is all about. Every ledger account which is grouped under a particular group heading, all the transactions entered with those ledgers can be seen in the group voucher report section. I repeat, group voucher section will give you all the transactions entered with all the ledger accounts that are grouped under one particular group. So presently we have such requirement. We want to see all the transactions that are coming from all the cash ledger accounts at one place. And this is that report. Now again, what you can see here is the by default period that Tally has given is the month of March. I repeat again, every time first check the period and then only proceed with anything that you want to do with that report. Firstly, we will change the period. You can keep it blank. It will automatically take the period from the gateway of Tally, and we are having now all the transactions at one place. The condition remains the same. voucher, having voucher type, name, containing payment, and voucher having ledger amount which is greater than 20,000, end of the list. Now, as you have already seen both the reports, now this particular screen is giving you consolidated picture of all the ledger accounts at one place. Now, I'll just take you with a quick export function. You might have exported this report many times before, but you need to understand what is the best way to export this. Export function helps you to transfer this entire information from Tally to Excel. Export function shortcut you can see on the top of the screen. Here you can see export with E and a single line. So press Alt E. The language is default. Format is Excel. You have to export the report in such a fashion that the report should be saved in the folder in which you are doing your working. So presently this is my folder and I want my report directly to be saved here. So what you have to do is copy the path, Control C, go to Tally, go to this export location and paste the path of the place where you want to take this particular report. Change the name of the file. I'm just making it cash payments, or we'll make it as cash analysis. We are done. When you don't have to change rest of the thing, then don't waste your time by pressing enter multiple times. You can just press Control A and export. Within few seconds, the screen will get transferred to Excel and you can very much mail it to your client for further action. Now, since we are using Tally ERP 9, you can see that this report is already coming as a well formatted report. If this would have been 7.2, then there needs a lot of formatting for this. Reports generated through Tally. So this is a report on cash analysis. So here you can see the list of all the payments. You can do rest of the remarks, working, etc. on this particular screen. I'm closing this report now. So we are done with one part in cash analysis, and that is cash payments exceeding 20,000. Now what you need to see next is cash payments. In case there is a company which has a lot of payments done in cash, then you have to do a smart analysis by selecting the top ledger accounts which has the maximum payments done. Because income tax people, I had an experience of teaching income tax department also, they are very much concerned about the cash transactions entered by the company. Before they end up catching up anything, as an auditor, it is our responsibility that all the accounting transactions should be in place and should meet with all the applicable laws. So what we need to do is we need to make a list of the ledger accounts that are in which the mostly payments are made in cash. So what I'm doing is I am now exporting the cash ledger accounts with all the payment transaction. Just keep an eye with, now this is like a combination of Tally and Excel. Tally, as you know, it's just an accounting software. Analytical tools are there, but they are very limited. Excel is everything basically when it comes to as a requirement of a chartered accountant. You have to use the combination of Tally and Excel for an effective control and effective audit. What we will be doing now is we will be making a very beautiful report of cash payments with the information extracted from Tally and processed in Excel. What we'll do is we will just export those entries which relate to payment transaction. So here are payment entries in Tally by filtering it. Voucher, having voucher type, name, containing payment. I'm not giving any conditions regarding amount because this time I want all the accounting entries coming from the payment transactions. Now, as you can see, there are around 725 accounting entries. I will export this to Excel for further analysis. Now, one thing, now you have to just keep a note of this particular thing. If you are doing data analysis and you want all your Excel reports to be in one Excel file, then you have to be very particular while exporting the reports. We will export this second file in such a manner that it is saved in the same Excel file. We don't want multiple files because then our Excel files will get scattered and it will become very difficult to keep a track of our workings. So we will report all the reports in this particular Excel file. How to do this? Just I'll repeat the export function, but check it when we give the name. In order to export the second report also in the same Excel file, what you have to do is you have to go to that Excel export to function. When you give the path, see that you give the path where your original file is saved. That means the file in which you want to save this. Output file name. The name that you have given to this file, a cash analysis, you have to give the same name here also. So what you do is better you copy it. So I'm giving the same name to this output file. And you can see here update existing file. Just turn this to yes, it is by default yes, and press Ctrl A, enter. When you export this in this particular manner, you will get the exported file in the same Excel book. This will keep all your workings consolidated when you do audit. It's a big file, it's taking a couple of seconds. I'll just take you through. I hope you all are aware about the basic Excel tool, pivot table, VLOOKUP, etc. There are 10 approximately tools that you need to know if you want to excel in the audit part while using Tally and other tools also. All right, finally we are done. So here is our Excel file where we have saved this data. Oh, there's something wrong with my Excel. That's why we didn't get this. Just a second. There's some conflict with the Excel part. Anyways, this is how you actually get Excel saved in the same Excel file. Now, if you see, if you are using educational version of Tally, if you don't have the license version, then in that case, you will not be able to use the Tally with the complete dates. That means in case it is a date other than 1st, 2nd, and 31st of a particular month, there will be educational written on the date column. What you need to do is you have to just apply basic functions in order to get a summary of cash payments. I'm just removing the unwanted line items. You can filter the data and you'll get the list of all the accounting entries. There are approximately 740 entries. I want a summary of this. So what I've done is I've selected the entire data. In case you're not well aware about the shortcuts, Control Shift, side arrow and down arrow. This will help you to select all the data without using mouse. I'm getting into insert because we want to insert a pivot table. Okay. So now the canvas is ready with you. I'll just select particulars. Particulars will give me the name of the ledger accounts and the credit amounts. So you're getting the credit amounts here. Now this is arranged in alphabetically increasing order. I want to know the top ledger accounts. So what I have to do is I'll go here, I'll put a right click and I'll arrange this largest to smallest. Now this is not sufficient. I even want to know what are the ledger accounts, that how many voucher are there in this particular heading. So what you do is again take this credit section here, and instead of having sum total, you can change this to count. If you see there's a drop down arrow, get into value field setting and show here instead of sum, select count. If you can see here, there is other ways also how you can use the other functions, but presently we are using count. So what does this mean? This means that the company has made a payment of 5,82,000 on freight charges and there are total 38 vouchers. Company has made 5,12,653 rupees of payment for loading and unloading, and the number of vouchers are 235. You can even divide this to understand what is the value of your average voucher. One more thing that you can do is you can just take this credit again, and in this value field setting you have one option, show value as, and here there is an option, show value as total percentage of grand total. Okay, so what this is giving is, if you see the top 4 heads, this top 4 heads is making 78% of your total payments. So even if there are 25-30 ledger accounts in which cash payments have been made, but if you do a detailed ledger scrutiny for these 4 ledger accounts, you will end up covering 78% of cash payments for this particular company. This is the ABC analysis where mostly few ledger accounts will make in volume or in terms of number of vouchers the maximum part of that particular nature of transaction. I hope this part is also okay. These are some of the smart ways of doing quick analysis of items and understanding where to concentrate when you do the audit in Tally. This was something about basics. All those who have already worked in Tally might be aware about these tricks. Now coming to negative cash. Negative cash you will not find through group vouchers. Negative cash you have to go through individual cash accounts only. Negative cash is a ready-made report. You can go into cash account, change the period, and once you have the complete screen, you can see on the right hand side there is something called as daily breakup, and F6 is given there. Press F6 and what you see is the transactions are available with you with a daily balance. If you see anything in red here, or if you see any credit item, that means it is a negative cash. Negative cash is a straight away undisclosed income and it is added to your assessee's account. If there are any negative transaction, you can just check it with exception without going through the list. If you press Alt X, since there are no negative transaction balances, hence the screen is blank. We can just navigate and check in petty cash also with F4. Now you can see here, if there are any negative balances, that will be highlighted in red. These are the days when the balance for this particular cash was negative. At the end, the balance went positive, but you need to check what is that transaction. You can enter into the transaction from this screen also. Mr. Hari Private Limited has given a cash of 50,000 rupees. This may be just a book entry in order to make your cash positive. You need to get into this transaction and understand it, whether it's a genuine transaction or not. I hope the negative part is also okay. Now we will move on to something important, and that is sales and purchase analysis and inventory including also. If you see, this is the company. Here we have total sales as 12 crore 34 lakh 39,000. I'll take you through one more report, that is display account books and sales register. And if you see your total sale, it is 12 crore 91 lakh. The figure reflected in P&L is a different figure. The figure reflected in sales register is a different figure. Now you need to understand how Tally works. There are different vouchers through sales accounting entries can be passed. If the sales entry has been passed using the sales voucher, then only it will be reflected in sales register. But if the company has used receipt voucher or a journal voucher for passing a sales accounting entry, then it will not be reflected in sales register, but it will come in your P&L account. One more reason of the difference is the sales register gives you the gross figure, that means inclusive of indirect taxes, and the P&L figure gives you the net figure, that is exclusive of indirect taxes. So whenever you're doing the sales analysis and if you want to check the entire figure in totality, then you have to go through ledger accounts which are there from P&L. Again, if you see in the sales account, there are so many ledger accounts. If you want to make analysis, you have to individually go to every ledger account and do the audit. But if you use group vouchers and if you select sales account, there you will be able to see all the accounting entries coming from all the ledger accounts that have been grouped in this particular group. I'm not getting into it, but in case there is a need for this, you have to go in this particular fashion. In sales, basically what we need to check is the price at which the person is selling this and how which are the top parties, which are the top products. So whenever you start any audit of a trading company or a manufacturing company, you must have the basic awareness about the product in which they are dealing, the price that they basically deal in. Then only you will be able to find the exceptions or the deviations. Now in Tally, inventory plays a very, very, very important role, and there is a lot to know about the inventory part in Tally. I'll just take inventory right now so that if in case you have any doubt, we can discuss on it simultaneously. How the inventory is maintained, how it affects the sales and purchases, that you need to understand here. Presently, what you see here, there's a closing stock of 1 crore 31 lakh. If you go through the stock summary, you can see the list of all the items in which this particular company is trading. And at the end, you can even see the closing balance of the inventory, which is 1 crore 31 lakh. The figure reflected in the P&L and the figure reflected in stock summary is same. But this may not be the case every time. There is an inbuilt functionality in Tally which helps you to integrate and disintegrate the inventory records with the Tally financial records. There are different modules in Tally, the inventory module and the financial module. Presently, we are able to see the same figure at both the places because the inventory module has been integrated with financial module. But in case the company wants to reduce or increase their inventory without touching the stock summary, they can do so by changing the inventory figure directly without altering anything in the inventory module. How to do that? I'm just telling you how it can be done. That doesn't mean that we have to do it in this fashion. We are auditors. We have to check it how to find such type of adjustments or deviations, whatever you call. There on the right hand side, you can see F11. F11 is the option for features. In F11, what you can see is integrate accounts and inventory, the first option. So presently, if suppose the company wants to reduce their profit which is presently 1,05,77,000 some odd figure, if they want to reduce their profit to say by 25 lakhs, then what they can do is they can change their closing stock. If they reduce the closing stock, their profit will reduce. If they increase the closing stock, their profit will increase. So if they want to reduce their profit by 25 lakhs, they have to reduce their closing stock by 25 lakhs. What is the closing stock presently? 1,31,42,540. There is an inbuilt calculator also in Tally. If you can see on the bottom of the screen, there's Control N. So if you press Control N, the calculator in Tally will open. So I'm doing a small calculation here. I'm just reducing my stock by 25 lakhs so that I get the final figure what stock I want. We want our stock to be 1,06,42,540, which will help me to reduce my profit by 25 lakhs. How it is to be done? Firstly, I have to just remove the integration. That can be done with F11. Go to F11, integrate accounts with inventory, press no, enter. Press Control A. We are done. Now what you see, the figure of closing stock has changed. And now if I enter into this closing stock, I cannot see that list of all the items which was presently shortly in the list which we just saw here. Instead of that particular list, what you're getting is a dialog box, and Tally is asking you what stock you want. So if I put my stock as 4 crore, 1 crore 6 lakh, 42,540, Tally will readily update my stock without asking anything, and my profit will go down by 25 lakhs. Many people who come from small businesses or something like that, they opt for this particular way of reducing their stock, which is the most unprofessional way of dealing with stocks. In case you come across with such type of adjustments, you need to check, and necessary action should be taken, because now department is also calling for Tally data. It's no more just the hard copies. Now, since the data will be provided in soft copy, anybody can check this. If at this moment I get into stock summary, I can still see it is as 1 crore 31 lakh. So apparently everybody can make it out that the stock as per stock summary is different and the stock as per P&L is different. Now there is one more way how you can hide the stock summary. If suppose somebody has made such type of adjustments and it is not possible now to go back and correct it, so at least what we can do is we can hide the stock summary. How a stock summary can be removed from the screen? If you press F11, accounting features, there is an option, the first option, maintain accounts only. In this option, which is presently no, if I turn this option to yes, then what will happen? The company inventory records will be removed from this screen. I repeat, if with accounting feature, I make a change of maintaining accounts only, which was earlier accounts with inventory, my stock related reports will then be removed from the screen, and apparently it will look like as if the company is not maintaining the inventory records in Tally. So if in case you're doing audit for some company and you get such type of Tally data, don't end up concluding that the company is not maintaining inventory. Just give it a try and try to get that particular report again. There are adjustments with this, reports can be hidden. If you want to see that report again, just press F11 and just go back to all my basic, the first configurations. Maintain accounts only, I'm turning it to no, and integrates account with inventory, I am turning it to yes. Now if I go back to Tally, I can see my stock summary again with the same accounting entries and the same value of stock. And if I go to P&L, again I can see my closing stock reinstated to the same figure. If I click here, now there's no more that dialog box. I'm directly linked to my stock summary report, and now the things are back to normal with a complete integration. So in case any of your client is having this type of structure, see that you correct them and you help them to follow the particular rules. This was about the basic inventory adjustments that people make. In Tally, surprisingly, there are so many weaknesses in the internal controls. I don't know whether it is purposely done so or it is just, mostly it seems to be purposely. Now you will see what different ways are there. If I want to make an adjustment in closing stock of again say 25 lakhs, then how can I do so? In stock summary, here you see different types of inventory items, right? Inventory items are created through inventory info. And in inventory info, there are some features which have originally been maybe developed with a different intention, but presently they are exploited for making adjustments. In P&L, we are having a profit of 1 crore 5 lakh and a closing stock of 1 crore 31 lakh. I will just keep a note of this so that later on we can make a comparison. I'm having a closing stock of 1 crore 31 42 540. I'll first tell you how the things are different in Tally, and then I'll tell you the tricks how you can audit the same in the best, smart, and the easiest way possible. This is my stock and this is my profit. I'm keeping a note of this so that afterwards once we make the change, we can compare. Now I'm getting into inventory info, stock items, and I'm creating one stock item. The name that I'm giving to my item is wheat special so that later on we can differentiate with it. Kgs. This is the place from where we make adjustments. So since I've already used this, hence the screen is visible. Otherwise, if you see normally an inventory creation window, you will see only this particular screen. But there are some advanced functions also in the master creation that you will get only from F12. Once you press F12, in the third part, you see here, allow advanced entries and masters. If I turn this to yes, press Control A. In the screen, you will have an additional part in which there's some behavior that you can set. From here, we can set the method of valuation. And there is something interesting here. Treat all purchases as consumed. I just turn this to yes. Now, this feature basically has been developed for the companies which are dealing into products that are consumed in the same day. For example, the dairy industry, they have milk and the same day they consume the milk. So instead of purchasing this and then again passing a consumption entry, they can make this type of adjustments where a consumption can be passed directly. So this is getting done. How people misuse this function and what we need to do as an auditor. I will now pass one accounting entry. Technically, you all are CA students, you know that if a company is purchasing something and the same has not been sold during the year, it is not going to affect your closing stock. I mean, it's not going to affect your P&L because the same item will then be added to your closing stock and it will get balanced. So if any item is purchased but has not been sold during the year, technically should be added to your closing stock automatically by that accounting software, and the profit should remain the same. But in this case, it is not going to behave in this manner. I will show you by passing an accounting entry. I am passing one purchase entry. I'm just taking any item like Foodie India is my supplier. Amount is 25 lakhs on account. I'm adding it to local purchases only. Item is wheat special that we have recently created. Quantity, I'm taking it as 2,50,000 and rate as 100 so that this should tally to 25 lakhs. End. Oh, it is my mistake. One more zero has been added. $25,000 and now it is 25 lakhs and we are done. So we have just passed an accounting entry for purchases. If I get into P&L, if it would have been a normal item with no such adjustments of item to be considered as consumption, my profit would have been same as it was before passing this entry. But now if you see, your purchases have increased, your stock is at the same level as it was before passing this entry, and your net profit has decreased by 25 lakhs. It was something 1 crore 5 lakh before passing this entry, and now it is 80 lakh 77,000. That means if such type of inventory is created, or if such configuration has been given to any inventory item, even if you do 100% vouching of all the purchase transaction, still you will never be able to make out that this particular accounting entry is affecting the profit of the company. It's not practically possible to check each and every closing stock item. I hope you have understood the problem. This is the problem because I have to first introduce you with the problem and then how to find this with the smartest way possible in Tally. Now what you have to do is you have to trace this transaction. Obviously, we cannot get into all the accounting entries and check this. Even if you do, you will never be able to find this. If you enter into stock summary, the by default configuration of stock summary is this. I'm just putting it as opening inwards, outwards, yes. If you see the screen right now, you cannot see that wheat special item available on the screen with you. This is because in Tally, there is a by default setting that all the items with zero balance is to be excluded. In order to see that particular item also, you have to first turn it to yes. Now, if you get into the screen, you can see the wheat special. In the wheat special item, you can see the inward entry which is correctly passed. But in the outward entry, you can see that the quantity is mentioned, but the rate and value is missing. You may have come across with such type of instance even before, but probably you never knew what the reason behind this type of entry. This comes only when the item is treated as a consumption. There are two ways. Either it can be by the by default setting of that particular inventory item, or it can be because of some stock journal that has been passed for a consumption entry. In either case, you have to check it. What is that particular item? Why the item is treated as consumption? Is it actually of that nature, etc., etc. So this is the way how you can trace all such inventory items which has been entered, but in that consumption part, the value is 0 and hence it is not added in the closing value. Even if you check with all the GST returns, everything will be in place, still the profit will be reduced if the accounting entries has been passed in this fashion. I hope this path is correct. I'll tell you one more way how inventory is managed. In inventory, if you pass a sale entry or a purchase entry without giving any reference to stock. Now, it's not mandatory in Tally that inventory items are compulsorily required to be given. I'm passing one more accounting entry, and in this case, I am going to skip this inventory information completely. If I just pass enter, the moment I press enter, my inventory box has been excluded and my item is, amount is directly taken to the amount section and I'm done. Now, what will happen due to this particular entry? In P&L, my profit has further reduced by 25 lakhs. My purchases has increased and my closing stock is again at the same level. Now, in this case, it is even difficult to trace because this is not for any one particular item. It can be with any stock items. How to find such type of accounting entries where the values have been put up, but the inventory information has been skipped? I repeat, in case while passing the accounting entries for sales and purchases, inventory information has not been updated or has not been entered, in that case, your sales and purchase figures will get updated, but your closing stock will remain at the same level before this entry, ultimately affecting the profit of the company. How to find such type of purchase entries where the inventory items have not been updated? The easy way is go to display, account books, purchase register. Now in this purchase register, enter into any 1 month and change the period. Once when you change this period, you will have the accounting entries for the complete year. It just takes fraction of seconds. You have to just use this report, which is columnar. And in this columnar report, there is one item, show quantity details. So put it to yes. You can just remove other columns that you don't want. I'm just putting this as no. And we want this quantity details, control A. The moment you go for this particular setting, all the quantity details will be there in a separate column. This is the quantity details that we have for this company. As you can see that for these entries, the quantity information is there. That means this is affecting my inventory records as well as my financial record. But for these items, since I've used this tally data even before, hence there are more entries here. For these items, this one and this one and this one, inventory records have not been updated. That means it is affecting my P&L, it is affecting my profit, but it is not affecting my closing stock. I hope this is also clear enough. This is how you can check exceptional things in Tally, because this is a unique software which has something very different as compared to any other IT company developed accounting software. One more interesting thing, the more you start analysis in Tally, the more questions come up to your mind, and you can go and make such adjustments and check whether Tally is accepting such type of configuration or there is an inbuilt control. One more interesting thing in Tally is, if you go here in P&L account, you see closing stock. I press F7. They gave me different methods of valuation. You all might have done this ever before also. Now, if I put it to FIFO, it will change the valuation. If I put it to weighted average, it will change the valuation. But interestingly, you have a different valuation for different items also. In Tally, this is possible. If you want to change the valuation of only one particular item, that also can be done. How this is practically possible that rest of the stuff is maintained at FIFO and this particular item is valued as weighted average. But in Tally, this is very much possible, and this will also affect your trial balance, I mean profit for the company. How this is done? Suppose I'm just giving it a try that the item which is having the maximum stock, for example, this rice regular is having a stock of 79 lakh rupees. I just want to reduce the profit of my company, so I just give it a try that let's see by changing only the valuation for this particular item, how it impacts my P&L. I'm going to inventory info, stock items, alter, and rice regular. In this rice regular, I have this costing method as FIFO. If I want to change this, I'm making it as average cost. Nothing else. Done. Now, if I go to my P&L, it will look so normal and so common, and still my profit has reduced by approximately 5 lakh here. So this is how there are different ways how an item can be altered independently, irrespective of, without changing the overall method of valuation of this particular company. How will you find this? There's an interesting report in Tally, and very few chartered accountants and even CA students are aware about this feature. This is available under display, statement of inventories, stock query. Just a second. It's available under inventory books and stock items. I'll get into wheat regular item. Just a second. Yeah, sorry, it was into stock query and wheat regular item. Here you can see a snapshot of everything relating to this particular item. Whenever you have a company in which there are approximately 20% of the items which are traded 80% of the time, you must have a habit of going into the stock query report. I'll just show you again from where we can get this. You have gateway of tally, display, statement of inventory, and here you have stock query. When you enter into stock query, you will get the list of all the items in which this company is trading. Get into the item that you want to check. You want to check wheat regular. Now, what this report is giving, if you don't know about this particular report, you will end up taking a lot of your time in making this particular analysis in Tally otherwise. This report is giving you what is the closing balance in quantity, what is the price, average price at which it is purchased. Just a second. Here you can see standard cost, closing value, standard selling price, market valuation, and beside this, it is even giving you the top buyers and sellers. These are the top buyers and sellers of this particular item. You can even check the rate also. If you get into the previous screen, you can see the rate at which it is being traded, when it was last sold. You can change the period and have a look for the complete year also, for particular month also, etc, etc, which godown it is maintained. If you try to make this type of analysis with the complete stock report, it will take a lot of your time. But if you just navigate from F4, you can just do this for all the items in just few minutes or approximately an hour. So if there is nothing, it will not show here. You can just put F4, rice regular. This is giving you the details of the rice. If you go to wheat, etc, etc. So this is a ready-made report in Tally, which will give you a snapshot of all the inventory items just on few clicks. I hope this part is also absolutely fine with you. There's one more report, which is exceptional reports. In exceptional reports, you get the negative stock. This negative stock, first we try to find it out with the cash account, but here also you can find negative stock. You can find negative ledgers also. One important thing, if you see the stock summary, you can see the negative stock here. But there can be instances where the stock was negative during the year, but see, for example, this Sago, the stock was negative during the year, but at the end the stock is normal. So how these type of inventory you can locate, which is in between the year and not at the end of the year? It's not practically possible, or it's very time consuming if you enter into every line item and then check it. If you want to get the same thing in the smartest way, what you should do is go to display, exceptional reports, negative stock. Now in this negative stock, you can see only the one which was there at the end of the year. But if you want to see for the complete month-wise stock reports also, you can insert multiple columns with this auto column option available on the right hand side. Press Alt N and make it monthly. So now you can even see the additional item here, because the same screen has now been divided into months, and if there are some negative stock in between months, that can get highlighted here. This report can get divided into this much frequency, which even includes daily. I'll not do it because it takes lots of my space on the screen, but the a new column will help you to divide the screen into different frequency depending upon your requirements. With this column, I will even introduce you one more utility of this column. If this is my P&L account and want to make an analysis of P&L account on any different frequency, which includes monthly, quarterly, fortnightly, anything, you can have the new column option on the P&L part also. I'll make it monthly. So you can see the entire profit and loss account has been divided into monthly frequency. You can make an analysis of different items here. If the indirect expenses, in which month lot of indirect expenses have been booked, say if normally it is running around 2 lakh, 3 lakh, how come it is at 14 lakh, approximately 15 lakh rupees in the month of September? So you can get into this and you can check what is that item. Probably this item might have increased my expense so heavily in this particular month. So normally indirect expenses are fixed monthly expenses, which includes your salary, your rent, your electricity. So more or less the monthly expense of the company should remain stable. If at all there is a sudden increase in any expense, we need to check into that month and we need to get into that particular expense item and the nature to check why there is an increase in that particular item. So you can divide your balance sheet also in the same fashion. You can make your balance sheet also look quarterly. This is your balance sheet. If any sudden increase or decrease in there in any item, you can just check it. You can detail this with F1 function, which will expand the entire balance sheet by items. If you want to check any details, see if creditor were 1 crore 65 lakh, then it is 1 crore 14 and it suddenly went down to 40 lakh and another increase to 87 lakh. You want to check what made this creditors go so down here. You can get into details here. You can have auto column here also. If I make it quarterly. Okay, since I have applied there, you can have new column here. You can have sundry creditors for a different period. Suppose I want to compare it with 1/4/2013 and 30th June, or to say 1st July, because I'm using educational mode. So you can have creditors comparison on the same screen for different frequency. You can have it any odd dates also. If you want a standard frequency, you can go through auto column. If you want some flexible dates, you can go with a new column option where you can put up anything. I want to tell you one very interesting thing. You can have comparison of different ledger accounts also. Suppose I want to check my I'm just taking a random example like my interstate purchases. I want to compare my freight and unloading charges with my interstate. Many times fake expenses are introduced in the form of freight because companies generally try to inflate their expenses in cash, and freight and unloading are common headings because it doesn't come with a lot of TDS and other compliances. So what we are doing here is we are making comparison of 3 ledger accounts in one screen. How to do that? First, get into any one ledger accounts. I'm into interstate purchases. I'll just put it as net so that I reduce my screen into one column. By doing this adjustments, my screen has now been reduced only to one column. I'm now introducing multiple columns here. How can I do this? By inserting a new column option, Alt C. I'm taking new column as unloading loading charges. Now you can see unloading and loading is also on the same screen. I'm taking one more account here, freight. Now, for example, if these are interrelated and if I'm having only purchases, then technically why there are loading and unloading of freight charges for the months where there are no purchases. If I want, I can introduce more purchases also here. I can even have local purchases 12.5. So you can have multiple accounts on the same screen, which will help you to make a quick analysis of related accounts. You can export this to Excel, and even you can apply the basic Excel tools in this particular information, which will further help you to make a good analysis of information. This was about multiple columns. Now something quite interesting in Tally, that you can even have multiple columns coming from different companies. I'm opening one more Tally data here. You can have accounts which is coming from two different Tally data on the same screen. So in case you are dealing with a group company or a company which is having multiple divisions, and you want to make an inter ledger comparison, like X account in Y's books of accounts and Y's account in X books of account, then many times we have to take a printout and then manually check one on one. That consumes a lot of your time. If you want to make a comparison of two ledger accounts coming from two different Tally data, then that is also technically possible in Tally. How you can do this? I'm just taking any two random accounts because these two companies are technically not related. This is just to tell you the functionality. I'm taking one account, say, Food in India. Oops. I'll first get into my company. The only care you need to take is, if you want to make comparison of two ledger accounts coming from two different Tally data, and first thing, both the Tally data should be open, and you can make that comparison only on this monthly, quarterly or annual screen. You cannot do insert column option in transaction view because it is practically not possible to show that comparison. So I'm just inserting. When I press Alt C now, you can even see one more line item has been added in this dialog box, and this is the company. So earlier I was having only one open company, hence I could see only India Grains. Now I have an option of selecting ledger from all the list of companies that you can see on the right hand side. I'm selecting SRP. You can change the period also. So if you want to make comparison of two different periods, that's also possible. And I'm just taking a random ledger, may not be having any entry. So here you can see there are two ledger accounts coming from two different Tally data. So had this been interrelated, you could have made a quick comparison of this. You can navigate your cursor here also. You can just get into other details so that if there is any deviation, that you can just check it by getting into the transaction view also. So this is a very, very important tool in case you are dealing with a company with multiple divisions, or you're dealing with a company with a lot of interrelated group companies. I hope this is also fair enough. I'm just going fast because I want you to be introduced with all the possible tools. Knowing that this is possible is 50% of it. How to do is this, you can Google anytime. Even if you forget how to insert a column, you can go and type on YouTube. I'm even having my own personal channel with the name Clear Concepts. There are a lot of videos which are there relating to Tally, which will help you for step-by-step process when you actually sit and do audit. One more thing I would just add on is, many times, every time we have to make a list of the fixed assets that has been added by this company. So what you do is, in the 3CD report, you put up the dates of all the additions, then less than 180 days, more than 180 days. And if the company has a lot of additions during the year, then it is a very time consuming process. In Tally, you can reduce your efforts and be smart worker instead of hard worker. I'll just first tell you, there is an addition in fixed asset. This is the fixed asset summary that I have expanded to include opening and closing also. In this, we can see that there are two additions. There are just two, you can even get the details. But if there would have been 20 or 200 additions during the year, then to get the list of all the additions along with the date is a very time consuming thing. If you want to see all the entries in the fixed asset group, then the best way is go to display, account books and group vouchers, go to fixed assets and change the period. If you select only debit entry, because we are interested only in purchases, so you will get the date also. If you expand this, show all ledger accounts. So you can even see this company has purchased mobile and computer. If you do export this and then you just apply basic Excel tool, you will get the list of all the items with the date and amount readily available. So in case there's an audit season going on, in case the company in which you're dealing is having lot of addition to fixed asset, don't end up wasting your time by getting into every line item and then typing it to Excel. Obviously, it comes with a lot of possibility of clerical errors. And secondly, it will take a lot of your productive time. Work smart, not work hard. So get into group vouchers and then go into show all ledger accounts, debit entries only. You will get the list of all the entries, export this to Excel, and then remove this particular line item that you can do in Excel, and you are done. I hope this part is also clear. It's already 3:30. Now, if you have any doubts, you can put forth your questions so that we talk specifically on your specific requirements. Anybody with any question that you want to know or for which you want to know the smart way of dealing in Tally? It's a request whenever you get an opportunity to work in Tally, please try and get into a lot of different types of reports and go through a lot of videos instead of going with the long way of doing that particular stuff. Invest your time in understanding the best and the smartest way possible to get that particular thing done. It will be just a one-time investment, but it will save a lot of your future times. Anybody with any doubt, any question, any query, any requirement specific, then you can put forth your question in this question box. Purvesh, are you there?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah. Is there any question or am I not able to see something like that?
Ma'am, no students are sending their questions. You could see on the right hand side that question box. Just scroll down through it. Means open it.
It's actually very
Doc panel.
small. I don't know. I'm not able to see it completely. How can I maximize it?
Ma'am, wait a minute. Ma'am, ma'am, take the cursor to the bottom right corner of it. You could maximize it. So, have you undocked the question panel, or is it still on the right side of the screen?
No, I do have questions. I can see like whatever has been written by participants, but I've expanded this now. Multiple account. All right, from Tally to Busy, we don't have any utility presently available. All right, there's an interesting question. Clients do not add direct costs like freight, inward, and labor cost to the inventory cost. Instead, they show it as a direct cost. This is a question by Krishna. Krishna, your question is correct, but I guess he's presently not there. In that case, your inventory will be affected because the direct cost will be charged to P&L, and the portion which otherwise should have been added in the inventory has not been done so. I have it's actually a detailed discussion about how to have your inventory in case of manufacturing concern, how direct cost should be added. I have already shared one video on my this thing, what do you call, YouTube channel with the name Clear Concepts. In that, there is a complete video of 1 hour, how inventory for a manufacturing concern should be maintained, what are the common errors that they make, how the inventory gets affected in case it is not properly added. So you just go through it so that you again understand. Well, there's a question that if the item is not recorded, can't we reconcile with GST? Nikhil, I would like to tell you that when we pass an entry without putting up inventory details, accounting entry without putting up inventory details, or we don't or we make an adjustment where it is considered as consumption, the purchase entry is very much there. The purchases and the GST is everything correctly recorded. The only thing is inventory has not been recorded. So GST will tally, your vouchers will be there, it will tally with the supporting documents. Even if you do 100% vouching, you will never come across with this particular adjustment. So for that, you have to go through tally reports only. Periods of debtors and creditors exceeding certain limit, basically debtors and creditors, the problem entire, you might have also realized it, that in India the major problem is we don't have proper accountant. Most of the accountant creates so much garbage while passing accounting entry that it's like garbage in and hence garbage out. If the accounting entries have not been passed correctly, the debtors bill wise record has not been passed correctly, so the reports generated through tally will not be correct by default. In that case, your job has then been increased. What you have to do is you have to take all the data, then you have to adjust the payments, and then you come across with this. I guess probably I might have shared something on this on my YouTube channel. Otherwise, I'll just create a video so that you understand in case the accounting entries has not been correctly passed. If it is correctly passed, then you can go through bill by bill report and that will be available with you. But 80% of the time, the accountants don't pass the accounting entries correctly, thereby increasing our job tremendously. But we have to work out because it's a mandatory disclosure that is required in balance sheet. I'll just show the multiple accounts and how to have two companies on the same screen again. There's a question about ratio analysis. Actually, the ratio analysis that is there in this tally again depends upon the grouping done by the accountant. Now, if the accountant doesn't know the proper categorization of the groups, then the ratio analysis will get affected. If, for example, the investments are short-term investments, but by default they have grouped as long-term investment, then in that case, my current asset ratio will get disturbed. If a direct income has been grouped as indirect income, my gross profit ratio will get disturbed. So we cannot blindly rely on the ratio analysis report unless and until we are very sure that the ratios or the groupings done by the accountant is as per what is there in the balance sheet. So first, ensure the grouping. If it's your client's a long-term time, you must ensure that the grouping which is as per balance sheet P&L, the same grouping should be there in tally. This will help you to do a better analysis in tally. All right, the last thing that I wanted to tell you is, firstly, I'll just repeat few things about comparing multiple groups. Analysis of group company, I'll just have that ledger accounts on the same screen. TDS deducted or not properly, I'll cover that also. How to access same company together for different years, I'll just take that again. How to split company, I'll show you that also. Two different ledger accounts, there are a lot of requests of having that thing again. Fixed asset additions also, I'll take it again. For manufacturing concern, I already have a video on my YouTube channel which talk about every small details that a manufacturing company must take care. Yeah, if the invoice is being generated through tally itself, then it absolutely makes no sense in comparing the same bill with the same unless and until you think that there may be a backdated changes. Yes, bank contra entries, I'll just tell you how the things can be done. Grouping change you cannot find. If there is any change in the grouping of the company later on, then there is no log as such in my knowledge that can help you to know how the company has changed this. If there is any opening difference, how can you identify it in Tally in the columnar format? Yes, you can do that. I'll just tell you this also. All right. So for the doubts that we have good time. I'll just tell you about the basic doubts, the smartest way to deal with it. First, I'll repeat what you have done, and there's a request to do it again. How to do multiple ledger accounts on the same screen. Just first identify the ledger accounts that you want to compare. So if you want to compare interstate purchases with freight, so what you do is get into interstate purchases, get into any ledger account that you want to compare, say net transaction yes, closing no. Why we did this? So that we can reduce the screen to only one column. Then there is something called as new column. So press Alt C. If you want to make comparison of a ledger account with the same company, then in that case you can keep it company as the same. And if you want to make comparison of a ledger account coming from a different company, like a group company or a division or something like that, in that case, first thing, you have to ensure that all the companies in which you want to make a ledger comparison, you have to first open all those companies in the same Tally data. And when you put the new column option, you have to select the different companies with the different ledger account names that you want to compare. You just select loading and unloading, and the ledger account is there. If you want one more, again go to new column. This time I'm selecting SRP and company. You can change the period. I'm just selecting a random one because there's no interlink between these two companies. I just wanted to show it how it is. So now what we have is, from India Grain Marts, we have interstate purchase, unloading from the same company, and from SRP, we have purchases. So just assume if these are two different companies and you want to make a group comparison, this can be done in this manner. Now, this tool can be used for your opening balance verification very intelligently and very smartly. First thing you need to know, if there are two different Tally datas. For example, the company split their Tally data every time. Then in that case, you have to open both the companies and you have to ensure that the name of the company is changed. So if you are opening the same company with exactly same name, Tally will not allow you to open it. You have to alter the name. How you can alter the name? Go to Alt F3 company info, alter. So suppose if you want to make India Grains Private Limited 1314 comparison with 1213, and both the companies having the same name, then Tally will not allow you to open it. First go and change the name. Suppose I'm changing here, I'm putting is at 1314. So now you have altered the name. If you have two companies with the same name, the Tally will then allow you to open it. Now you can do what? You can go to display trial balance. In this trial balance also, you have an option of new column. So this is the closing balance. I can just change it to opening balance yes and closing no. You can expand this trial balance and you can put it as detailed. So you are now having so you're now having opening balances of India Grains for 1314. Now, for example, if you want to make a comparison of this opening balance from the closing of 1213, what you can do is you go to new column option. Then in that case, you will be having two Tally data. Suppose if this company would be having opening balance, then you can just put it here. It has to come from different Tally data. So let's take SRP. I'm just showing it to you for example. Now there is actually no relation between these two companies. I'm putting it as 1/4/2013 and 1/4/2013 because I want opening. Okay. End. So now you can see that two openings are there on the same screen. Now what you can do, in case your company has split the data, you are having one different tally data, and again you are having one more tally data for the same company, and you want to do that opening balance checking, you can just compare both the tally data on the same screen by opening both the companies. You have to just ensure that the names are different and both the companies are open on the same screen. I hope this part is okay. This is a very good thing that you should follow if the case opening balances are too high. Now for fixed assets, if you want the list of additions to fixed assets in the easiest way, what you should do is go to group vouchers, display, statement of account books, group vouchers, get into fixed assets, change the period, F12, select debit entries only, and you are done. Now you can just see the name of the credit part. You cannot see the name of the debit part. That you can see by going with this option, detailed, show all ledger, yes. So now you can make it out that mobile was purchased, computer was purchased, and so date. If there are even 200 line items, still it will take only 5 to 10 minutes to prepare the list of additions to fixed assets. I hope this part is also okay. The splitting of company, I'm not doing it, but I'm showing you how it is done. The splitting and company is option available under company info. Press Alt F3. You can get into company info. There's a split company option, and there is a backup and restore option. I'll just show you backup. If I want to take backup of this company, I'll just paste it in the same path so that you can know how does it look like. All items, yes. You can take a backup of all the items together, or you can take backup step by step. Now you can see this is the backup file. So in case your client sends you this, then this will not open directly in this way. You have to first restore it. I'm just creating a folder and I'm transferring this backup files in that particular folder so that we can see how does the restore function works. This is the backup file. Backup file is having a standard name as tbk900, etc. I'm copying the path where the backup file is stored. I have to now get into restore. I will go to destination and source. You can just press all Control V and your work will be done. The moment you do, you can get the list of all the items which are there in that particular path. You can select all items, press yes. Within a few seconds, your backup will then get restored and the Tally data will be back to place. So this is how the backup is restored. This will never open directly. You have to first restore, then only you can work on it. I hope this is also okay. I'll just now give you the name of my channel. In that channel, there are approximately 20 to 25 videos where every single report in Tally. This is the name of my firm, Max & Company, and we have a channel with the name Clear Concepts. This is the name of my YouTube channel where you can see all the important Tally related videos. Even the videos that I've taken for WIRC and other regions have also been uploaded here. I'll just even show you how the channel looks like so that you don't get confused. It's having a logo as a blue color owl. This is the channel name. Here we have even valuation of unquoted equity shares, highest, lowest cash. There are a lot of videos that we already have on this channel, which will help you to use Tally very effectively and smartly. There are playlists. You can get into playlist. There are reports in Tally. There are Excel case studies for all those who want to know pivot table, VLOOKUP, step-by-step approach, and in a very easy to understand manner you can get there. You can just go through this videos. It will help you to understand and work effectively in this audit season. In this corona time, invest your time in developing your skills. It will take you to great heights future, because you will be in a very better position to understand any software, even if you understand one particular software nicely. How to add another company in the listed? It's very simple. If you want to add more companies in the list of your companies, what you have to do is just go select company. Suppose I'm having, I'll just show you my folder. I'm having some new companies in this Tally data folder. What I'll do is I'll copy the path here. I'll go to Tally. I'll just paste the path. Oops. There seems to be no company, sorry. Suppose I want to add Gopal Gupta here. I'll just copy this path. I'll go to Tally. I'll paste it. Moment I do this, now you can see you have 3 companies available with you. So it's very easy. You can keep on adding. Don't exit out of Tally. Stay there in the same company and keep on adding it. That is how you can get into multiple accounts, multiple Tally data at the same time. And interestingly, you can even open Tally data multiple times. So if you want to open Tally again, so this screen will be there. Again, you can open Tally, etc. So it depends upon your need and requirement. Yeah, Tally source and destination for restoring will be same. I'll just repeat that restore part and again. I'll just tell you how to take a backup. Firstly, the option is available under company info. To press Alt F3, company info. You have backup option. This is to take backup. Firstly, you have to tell from where the backup is to be taken. I'm taking backup now for this Gopal Gupta. So this is the folder that I need to take a backup. So this will be the path, that will be my source. And if you want the backup also to be saved in the same path, then the destination will be same. But in case you want to give some other path as your final destination, that also you can do. That you can even do the pen drive also, some other drives from desktop, anything. So I'm getting into this. I'm just putting up my source and my destination as the same. If you want a destination to be a different folder, that is also possible. Same folder, that is also possible. Now, if you get here, the backup file is ready. If you want to restore it, I'm just changing the name of this so that I can then restore in the same path. Okay. If you want to restore this, you have to first create a folder because there is already a file. And now I'm giving a different path. I want it to be restored outside this. So what I'm doing is my backup path is this. So now I have to go to restore option. In this, my destination is different. My backup path is this, and my destination is a folder before this. So now I want my data folder to be saved in this path, right? So my destination will be this. Done. It takes few seconds to get the data back. So this is the restored data. This is that original data, and this is the backup file. So you have to just put the destination part and the source part, and your backup will be back in place. I guess now some of the doubts are there which are already taken care in the YouTube channel. You can go there. You can anytime contact me. You can put forth your requirement in the comment section in the YouTube channel. Next time, for sure, I'll come up with a video for that particular specific requirement. It will help me to expand my knowledge in Tally. It's almost 3:50 now. I'm just request. What is his name? Purvesh to take over so that we can just safely conclude the session with an assumption that whatever we have discussed added value to your knowledge about Tally, and at the same time, I could do justice with the valuable 2 hours that you have spent with me. I wish you all a great success in all your future endeavors as a student and as a chartered accountant in future. Over to you, Purvesh.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. It was really a wonderful session. We had almost around 650 plus students joining in us with today. So personally speaking of me, I am also an article, and along with me, a lot of articles would agree that Tally is one of the most important software and widely used software. So this was really a very helpful session. I got to know what things should I avoid, what things should I do before work start to working on Tally and all. It will really help a student to save us a lot of time. So now I would like to give my vote of thanks to you on behalf of the entire team, Vikas, and all the students. Uh, all the students. Ma'am, again, it was really wonderful session, and means thanks a lot for your time and efforts. Also, guys, before going, I would like to make a few quick announcements. The first one is that we are having an event also on 20 minutes webinar. It is a 4-hour webinar divided into two portions from 12 to 4. It is the topic of webinar is tools and tips for being productive at workplace, etiquettes and professional behavior. I am sure this will help you guys a lot. It is on Sunday on 27th of September coming soon. You guys will soon get the link for registering to this webinar on our Instagram handle, which is Vikasa underscore WSC. And the second announcement which I would like to make is that on 3rd of October, we are having a chess competition. It is for both members as well as CA students. For CA students, it is free, and for members, it is a nominal fee of just 50 rupees. All the details of the chess competition you will get a link of the form on our Insta bio, or you could DM us on our Insta bio, and also on our Telegram groups and WhatsApp groups. You could DM us on Insta. We will be sending you all the links and all. Again, ma'am, before concluding session, thanks a lot to you. Also, thanks to Mishra ji and Vijay ji who are handling this technical side of this session from WIRC. All right,
Thank
ma'am.
you
That
so much,
if you wanted
WRC,
to
and
say something concluding words, yeah, ma'am, over to you.
yeah, thank you so much to WRC for giving me this opportunity for the third time. It's always a pleasure to interact with the young ones. And special thank to all the supporting team of WRC, Mishra ji and the other person, उनका क्या नाम है? Vijay ji, उनको मैंने बहुत
Vijay
परेशान
ji.
किया है. Yeah, thank you so much. Anytime, it's my pleasure to contribute whatever best I can do in whatever best manner. So any doubts, please feel free to contact. Please keep on putting up your requirements on our YouTube channel so that we come up with a lot of different types of videos which will be having or adding a lot of values to the knowledge base of the young minds. Thank you so much. We conclude the session here. Are we done then?
Yeah, ma'am, we are done. You could quit the session directly. Mishra ji
All
will
right.
end the broadcasting.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks a lot.